The Wall Street Journal drops a bombshell report about the Epstein files. I bet Trump is going to sue them for, let's say, $1 gazillion this time. This is just another day. Last week, Donald Trump sued the Wall Street Journal over their latest reporting on the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Well, with today's news, I've got 2 words Trump may want to hear. Lawyer up.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting that in May, Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy informed the president at a meeting in the White House that his name was in the Epstein files.
That's right. Trump was told he was in the files by his attorney general, which makes her the second member of Trump's cabinet to alert him to this fact, but presumably the first who said it without peeing their pants from ketamine. According to the Wall Street Journal, in May, Bondi and her deputy informed the president at a meeting in the White House that his name was in the Epstein files. Many other high-profile figures were also named, Trump was told. Being mentioned in the records isn't a sign of wrongdoing. Which is true, but it ain't great news either. It's like Matt Gaetz applying to be the janitor at your local high school. It isn't a sign of wrongdoing, but it does make people suspicious. And speaking of making people suspicious, just last week, Trump was wandering his newly flagpoled lawn and said what I believe world-renowned scholars refer to as a big fat fucking lie.
Did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing.
You know the whole quick briefing alibi doesn't exactly hold up, and I'll show you why. Your name is in the files. Under 1 second. So unless Donald Trump's meeting was under half a second, I'm pretty sure he had plenty of time to hear the truth. Although look, it's certainly possible. You know how the man likes to keep meetings quick with members of his cabinet.
You know, these lamps have been very important, actually.
Truly the picture of efficiency. Now, we know that Donald Trump has been sitting on this information since May, which shines a new, very interesting spotlight on everything that's happened since. You know, things like having your attorney general who proclaimed that the files were on her desk say, case closed. And when people go, what's that now?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things.
What does it say when Trump would rather talk about 100 people dying in a Texas flood due to possible Republican mismanagement than talk about his connection to this guy? That's how badly he wants the Epstein story to get killed or commit suicide. He knows that he's in the files, and frankly, everyone knew. Pam Bondi knew, Kash Patel knew, Dan Bongino knew, meaning that since May, these people have either been outright lying or lying by omission. And like Don Jr. and Eric, both fucking suck. Donald Trump's whole narrative is that he's the guy who won't lie to you. I mean, sure, he'll do it when it comes to the quality of his sneakers, the accreditation of his universities, and the scores of his golf games, but when it comes to government secrets, he's not one of them. He's not a member of the swamp or the deep state. That's the evil Democrats and dirty progressives, and yes, even the uniparty rhinos. Donald Trump's entire political movement has been about sowing distrust among the American people, and his most ardent supporters joined him in lobbing these accusations any chance they could get.
What are they hiding?
What is the Biden administration trying to hide?
What would they have to hide?
It appears that it's another cover-up.
And it begs the question, what are they hiding?
And is it being hidden inside the girls' locker room? Because I'm willing to do whatever it takes to find out. So is it any surprise that the man who is definitely in the Epstein files would send out his director of national intelligence to say this morning?
President Obama directed an intelligence community assessment to be created to further this contrived false narrative that ultimately led to a years-long coup to try to undermine President Trump's presidency.
Wow, what a stunning revelation they've come to even after a bipartisan, years-long investigation said otherwise. How could they possibly explain their findings?
Help us, from a 50,000-foot level, explain, what do you now have that refutes those two?
Sure, I will encourage you, in my role as the Director of National Intelligence, my job, again, as I said when I came into this role, was to make sure that we are telling the truth to the American people and that we are ensuring that the intelligence community is not being politicized. So I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm asking you and the media to conduct honest journalism and the American people to see for yourself.
See for ourselves? You just dumped a mountain of documents that you say points to the smoking gun of Obama's treasonous behavior. But when pressed on it, We need to check your work? This press conference was the biggest jerk-off since that Denver performance of Beetlejuice the Musical. Tulsi Gabbard claims that the release of these documents is simply an effort by the Trump administration to restore Americans' trust in their government. But I believe that trust has been slightly undercut by a guy who lies his fucking face off. In just the first 6 months since Trump's been in office, he's lied about the trade deals he's secured, he's lied about the billions of dollars Doge was able to save American taxpayers, and he's lied about not cutting Medicaid from 17 million Americans. Now it's clear he is lying about knowing he is in the Epstein files. The reality is, this is all an act. It's like kayfabe in wrestling, where everybody knows it's pretend, but you suspend disbelief in furtherance of the story. But most of us don't want the wrestling world to infiltrate our federal government, except when it literally infiltrates the federal government and the wife of WWE CEO Vince McMahon becomes the Secretary of Education. But aside from her, it mustn't infiltrate the government. It is beyond depressing to watch an administration throw half-baked conspiracy theories against the wall to protect the current president from having to answer any more questions about his relationship with a child fucker. And it's worth taking a step back to think about the lengths Donald Trump will go to make this happen. He is willing to get the entire United States intelligence community to rally behind these baseless claims of treasonous conspiracy and then force Tulsi Gabbard to go in front of the press and do the equivalent of this.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
Tulsi, you're out of your element. I mean, at least when Trump lies to the American people, it's occasionally entertaining. He loses his temper, he puts on a show, throws in a reference to Arnold Palmer's giant cock for some reason. But without all that pizzazz, we're stuck with boring old lies, which is probably why Trump is going out and publicly coaching Republican members of Congress on how to lie.
And remember, don't let them forget, it's so important, Obama cheated on the election. And you should mention that every time they give you a question that's not appropriate. Just say, oh, by the way, Obama cheated on the election.
Yes, that's what's inappropriate about the whole Epstein situation. The questions part. My God, if Donald Trump is willing to divert this level of time, energy, and resources towards distracting everybody's attention from the Epstein files, then it still raises the question,
what are they hiding?
Exactly. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.